Recording in progress.
All right, so welcome back, everyone, to our restorative mobility class. Most of you just finished class with me not too long ago. But let's go ahead and cool down. If there's any requests, let me know on the chat, or just go ahead and unmute yourself and we could just, work on some stuff. So I'm going to go through the main muscle groups and joints. So we'll start with our chair stretches. Probably spend about 15 to 20 minutes here, maybe about another 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes on our feet, and then the remainder of the session on the floor. Okay, so let's start by gently going left to right. Looking left to right over here. I don't like how dependent I have become on these devices, but it's okay. I can't complain, working from home. You folks are getting your workout, learning from home too, up and down. All right, let's go ahead and do neck circles. Tomorrow we have a more demanding day as far as class sessions, so similar to yesterday. With our cardio intervals at 9, and then our stability and posture at 10. Switch. And then I have strength and balance at 11:30. Ooh. Let's go ahead and turn left and add a little bit of pressure to our right chin. So turn left, add a little bit of pressure here. Just helping with a little bit more range of motion. Let's turn right and do the same. All right. Let's go ahead and sit on our left hand. Bring that right arm over. Allow the weight of your arm to stretch that neck out. Let's go ahead and switch. Sit on that right hand. Left hand comes over. Ramon's back. All right, very good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and both hands over your head and bring your elbows down gently. All right, very good. All right, let's go with some shoulder work. So let's go with our thumbs right at our shoulders here, and then just press up. Whew. Excuse me. All right, very good. All right, we're gonna start with our elbows at our side and flare them up and then down. Up. Down. 4, 5, 6. 2 more. 7 and 8. Very good. All right. Let's go with our hands to our side and tap our opposite shoulder. I gotta find someone who's gonna be watching the World Cup games religiously, and because I have besides Netflix, I don't have anything else on my TV, so I need to go and hang out at someone's house. So let's rotate those palms backwards and then bring them up and down. Yeah, when I came back from college and most networks or sports were under like specific cable providers, oh man, I was so disappointed and sad about that. So I haven't been able to watch sports consistently in a long time. Let's do 3 more. Very good. All right, we'll do a little bit of just hand motions here, or wrist motions. So let's bring each finger on your right hand individually without bending the knuckles. Is anyone a die-hard fan or super excited for the World Cup? Let's do the same now, but with each knuckle. Let's bend each knuckle. All right, now let's separate the fingers away from each other, so web them out. All right, now left hand, each finger individually to the center of the hand. All right, now bend each knuckle. All right, now web them out. All right, very good. All right, let's go ahead and we did this. Let's do our trunk rotations, okay? So gentle turn of your trunk. Grab a hold of the bottom and the side. Just gently rotate. Rotate a little bit more if we're able to. Very good. All right, now let's go left side. So again, just gentle, that initial rotation should feel comfortable. And then as we're relaxing a little more, let's turn a little more. And relax. Very good. All right, let's go ahead and do our hip openers. So sitting towards the front of the chair, bring that right knee out and just push it out. And switch. Piriformis stretch, so right ankle on that left knee. Oh, my right hip is really tight today. Just relaxing here. I think most of us, always here and there probably have some aches on our backs and on our necks. But is there, I guess outside of like your, like just recovering from a previous injury, does anyone have like a very unusual area on their body where like they just get random sensations or aches here and there? Let's push down on that right knee. Like my hip here and there, or my right calf gets tight here and there. But does anyone have like maybe their arches or their wrists? Does anyone deal with like wrist stuff from like typing or overuse? Let's bring that knee up. You should be feeling that down here for that piriformis stretch. Let's switch legs. Left ankle on that right knee. Let it sink in there. All right, gentle push down on that left knee. And then now let's bring that knee up. Let's go ahead and do our leg raise. So let's bring that knee up to your chest and extend that lower leg. Let's switch. Bring that leg up. Extend. Working on that hamstring. Very good. All right. I'm going to take my shoes off. Let's work on my lower legs. So just heel raises. I'm looking at the Lego piece we just created and something seems off about it and it's really bothering me. But I don't know where to fix it. Like it looks like I made a mistake somewhere. But I'm too like I don't want to break it down again and start over. Let's go with our toe raises. But it definitely something's off. It doesn't look like the image on the box. So toes up. So again, working on your anterior tibialis. All right, let's do our ABCs. So Carmen, I don't think I've ever asked you, what do you do on your free time? What's your hobby? What do you do?
You are asking me?
Huh? Sure, you can turn the camera on.
Oh, my hobby? Gardening,
Gardening?
reading, dealing with my pets, uh, drive around,
Drive around with expensive gas? Yes.
eat,
Eat?
exercise a little bit.
Okay.
What else? Oh, watch Netflix,
Oh,
Tubi,
there you go.
Apple,
Apple TV?
Prime,
Oh, you're just naming.
Archive.
You like eating apples? Oh, Spotify, yes. I spent
No, the TVs.
Oh, TVs. I thought you said Spotify.
Archive and Canopy. Tons of those movies and documentaries.
Claw at the floor. Okay,
Listen to music.
a lot of media stuff. So
No media.
no, I mean like TV or music.
Yeah. Internet things, yes. But no media.
Not social media.
I hate media.
Yeah.
Facebook, I have it, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
But yeah, I enjoy life.
Cool. There you go. Awesome.
And clean the house.
And clean the always, right? If you have a golf ball, let's grab a little golf ball or a baseball so we could roll our arches a little bit. What about you, Jen? I feel like there's still some stuff I don't know about you. I just found out about Legos. So
I have a full-time job managing care for relatives for, unpaid.
Yeah. Okay. That keeps you busy.
That's why I keep, during these classes, the phone calls just...
Oh, I see. So is that where you are right now?
No, I'm in my home.
Okay.
I can do a lot of it remotely.
Oh, okay.
But it's a lot of coordination.
Yeah, I see. That's awesome. Yeah. Your family's lucky to have you. Let's push down. So that keeps you busy throughout the day. And your cat. Your cat with the treadmill.
Yeah.
I know, Ella, you're everywhere. Like, not just down the street, but across the country, in the world sometimes. I like to be a fly on Ella's shoulder as well. And then Josefina, What's your life like? You just have to tolerate Ramon all day? Let's switch?
Yes.
Yeah. Ramon's always giving you a hard time.
Always.
Not always. So let's push down on that other arch. Are you guys having any other trips, Josefina? I know you went to, was it Europe and Hawaii?
Yeah.
And Mexico too.
We are planning to go around here in California.
Northern California?
Do something here in California.
Oh, yeah.
Yosemite, something like that.
Yeah. Mammoth is beautiful, Yosemite. Yeah, I mean, California has so much. If you want to go to Big Sur, I would, if I could be have my little cabin in Big Sur and just live out there, I would. Let's get on our feet. We're going to do our shoulder stretches.
Go to Eureka.
Eureka, yes. I've been to, when I was in Chico State.
The Giants.
Yes.
Avenue of the Giants.
Avenue of the Giants. Yeah, or the alley of like the ferns.
Yes.
Oh, man, it's beautiful. I've been there twice, and and then all that Oregon coastline too. So I want to do a road trip that way too. Let's go ahead and grab our stick or our foam roller. So Teresa, and what do you do all day? What's your special thing that you like doing? Left shoulder?
Well, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Just like Carmen.
Like Carmen? A little bit of a lot of TV?
Some TV, not much.
I'm just teasing Carmen.
More music than TV.
Okay, yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, and gardening.
Nice.
Cleaning, a little bit of cooking. Wayne does the cooking.
Nice. Wayne's the cook. I started with the cooking with my wife, and then she got promoted to head cook. So let's go 60 degrees.
We do a little bit of Tai Chi too.
Nice. There you go.
Mostly for meditation and relaxation.
Do you go like online or with the group?
Both, a little bit of both.
90 degrees right in front of you?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Any traveling?
Up north by Eureka.
Okay.
Rating.
My good friends last year for their anniversary, let's switch, go back. I believe they flew out of the Hawthorne airport, and there's a restaurant there that's called Eureka. And I think they have one or two flights that fly directly to Eureka from Hawthorne once or twice a week. And they said that they flew into the airport. They, let's switch shoulders. They got their rental car right there at the small airport in Eureka. And then they were at their Airbnb within 10 minutes. They said from the time they landed, they were at their Airbnb within 15 or 20 minutes in Eureka. And I was like, well, that sounds really expensive, like taking the little plane to Eureka. And he said the whole trip for like maybe 30 degrees, like 4 or 5 days was maybe like $1,200, which to me, like, I think it's a bargain, because sometimes you could go to Vegas for like 2 days and spend that much in 2 days, and you have to deal with that long drive, 60 degrees. So yeah, I think I gotta look into that Eureka area.
Wayne likes to drive from here.
You like driving out there?
Yeah, only 12 hours one day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's quite the drive. Let's go forward. I dreaded after the Grapevine to about Stockton. That drive, I was like, I would just roll my eyes at it, and everything looked the same. But then let's start going back. Once you get either to that Bay Area or you get out of the valley a little bit, yeah, it becomes pretty. Um, I've never really driven north of Sonoma though. I've just driven through like the Trinities, which is by Redding and out there in the northern part. So we're back here. But yeah, I wanna. That's probably when I have some time and a reliable vehicle. That's what I want to do. I'll call Wayne. Let's go up and down. I like driving up and down. And Wayne, what do you do, Wayne, besides drive and cook?
I don't think he can hear you.
I spend a lot of time completing Teresa's honey-do list.
What does that consist of?
Whatever she thinks of.
Oh, there you go. That's a good husband, good answer. Let's go ahead and do our big hula hoops here. Nice. So, do you have a favorite part of the state that you like traveling to?
We usually travel up the 5, go through Sacramento,
Yeah.
and then cut over to the 101 through going past Clear Lake.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice area.
Cool. Is that considered like Lake County?
Yeah.
Okay. I had there's a summer because I went to school in Chico, and I don't know if you are familiar with like the bros, but just imagine kids that would go to the gym all the time and would have flannel shirts with no sleeves and a backwards hat. So I worked with like 5 guys that had that appearance, and they were all from Clear Lake, or no, Lake County, and let's switch. And they just talked about that place like like it was the best place ever, and I never got to go, but just looking where it's located on the map, I'm like, oh, that area just seems like really pretty out there. But how would you describe that area? Like, can you compare it to anything down here in SoCal?
It's got a lot of, it's very green up there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I know the lake is man-made, but I mean, it is very big.
Okay. Would it be like Big Bear, but a lot prettier?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, I have to check that area out.
Julio, I think you need to take up fishing before you go to these northern California places.
Yeah.
Lake and ocean.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I mean, I was in Chico for 7 years, and I felt like I wasted my outdoor bug not exploring out there because I was just really just locked in with my running. And I mean, I could have ran in a lot of these beautiful places. I had a friend that went to UC Davis. Let's go ahead and get on the floor. We're just going to continue on the floor for the last 10 or 15 minutes here. And he took me to, I think, the lake where the Zodiac Killer did his stuff out there. And yeah, it was really desolate and nice lakes and stuff, but man, I wish I would have spent a little bit more time exploring that area. And luckily, I think Julian, my wife, my family, like they have that bug to like explore. So I think once we have some time, we'll probably go ahead and do something like that. Let's go ahead and just rest on our elbows. So we're on our floor now. You've done fishing out there, Jan?
Yes.
Yeah. A lot? It sounds like.
Mostly in childhood, so
okay.
Go with grandparent.
Yeah. You had family out there?
My grandparents eventually lived on the coast in Oregon, about 3 miles north of the California border.
Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, like fly to Eureka, Arcata and then rent a car to drive up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know my older sister that lives in Vancouver, Washington, we've talked about, instead of them coming 2 years ago, they came to where we go? To I forget, what's this place called? By Lake Berryessa? No. Kings Canyon, right. So let's go cat-cow position and arch up and down. So yeah, so we were thinking of doing a new location. So we were thinking of either meeting in Tahoe for our meetup or out there in Arcata. But we'll see. It just takes quite a bit of planning. The only time I could really travel is in December, and I'm sure it'd be a little cold up there around that time. Alright, let's bring your glutes to your heels. Reset. Let's kind of crawl a little bit to the right side. Once we're here, arch up, glutes back. Alright, crawl. Let's go left. Arch up. Dip back. Reset. Alright, and then I want you to just get in a lunge position. So just bring that knee in front of you here, and then we're just going to lean forward and back, hips back, forward, back. Yeah, next week we're actually, later in the week, going to Truckee. So we'll be up there just north of Tahoe. And so in 2 weeks, you'll see me teaching from a different location. Hopefully, I don't know if there's a space for it, but I'm sure I'll find something. Let's switch. So do that left side, just continue. And then we're gonna go ahead and from the same position, we're gonna, alright, so if my right knee is bent, I'm gonna reach up towards the sky with my left hand, follow my left hand with my eyes, come down through, pass it over, pretty much high five myself on my right side, and then follow my other hand coming up. And then again, follow here, high five yourself, and follow the hand. Ooh. And just repeat. We'll do about 4 on each side. And good there. Once you've done 4 on each side, let's switch that knee position. And start with the other side now. Oh. Excuse my heavy breathing. This is not the easiest movement for me. Very good. Alright, and then to finish off, we're just gonna go with a kneeled lateral leg extension here. So over here, leg is extended, and then just supporting myself down here. And then come up, and then rotate and inwards. And let's switch. Yeah, I feel like I've gone to and explored a lot of the state. There's I think a national park somewhere just east or southeast of like Monterey area. I forget what it's called. It's not a very well-known park, I know. It's not as popular as Yosemite, but there's a park somewhere out there. But I love to explore more around Big Sur, especially the North Coast. And then part of that region behind Mount Shasta, north of Lake Tahoe. Been there once or twice, but now let's lean towards that leg. But yeah, definitely Oregon too. I've never been to Bend. I hear Bend is really awesome. All right, folks, that should do it. Pretty solid session, or 2 sessions for some of you that, or most of you that joined me. I think everyone here was with me earlier. But any questions before? Carmen, good job. I'm happy, proud of you. You said you weren't gonna be here. You stayed the whole time, even though you were napping. I'm just kidding.
I know, even though my dog is barking.
No, but appreciate everyone. Tomorrow, if you remember what yesterday was like, tomorrow we'll mimic that, and then on Thursday will be similar to today. And then just a reminder, we won't be meeting on Friday or Saturday. So, yeah. So, any questions?
Okay, gracias, Julio. Gracias.
All right, folks. Everyone
Thank
have a
you.
good day.
Let me see if I can.
Don't eat too many tacos. All right, folks. Bye, everyone. Bye.